Well, been a while since I've done one of these. Hey there! Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience, so I give every show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Today I'm going to watch the very first episode of The Summer... It took me a while to find the title. The Summer Hikaru Died. This is an anime recommended to me by one of my Patreon peoples. And, what can I say? Guy's got good taste. Everything he's recommended to me so far, I've at the very least found interesting in one way or another. So, looking forward to checking this out. So, The Summer Hikaru Died. Is Hikaru the protagonist, or someone the protagonist knows? Based on Moku Mokuren's hit manga, this ominous anime follows a teen grappling with the unsettling truth that something is very wrong with his best friend. Over here is the show poster. Because Netflix, they don't use posters. Stupidly. I don't really have any indication of the show. There's a guy with white hair and a red iris. You know, his eyeball is, the iris is red. That's all I've got. I guess I'll have to watch the episode and see what it's like. Everyone is going to react in some way to the first episode of a TV series. Everyone is going to have feelings about it. Sometimes they can be clear enough that you can pretty confidently say, this show is off to a poor start and I'm not interested in watching anymore. Sometimes it's, this is, hitting the ground running and I can't wait to tune into episode 2. And at other times, I don't know. So the first episode of this show is really playing up the mystery, but not the mystery you might think it's playing up. From the ominous anime follows teen grappling with the unsettling truth that something is very wrong with his best friend. Okay, is his best friend Hikaru? And Hikaru died? So is your best friend dead? Is it a zombie? Is your best friend a serial killer? Is it a monster? So, one might think going into this, particularly the way the summary is phrased, something is very wrong with his best friend. That the central mystery of the show, at least the first act or arc of the narrative, is going to be figuring out exactly what is wrong with your friend. And it turns out Hikaru is the friend of our protagonist. Also, this close-up of a kid with white hair with a kind of a glowing red eye, that's Hikaru. And I recognize that shot now, having watched the first episode. That is just a screenshot from the show itself. Just use the show poster, Netflix. I've told you this before. You're not listening. So, again, you might think that the first arc or act of the narrative would be, okay, something's wrong, maybe I can't quite put my finger on what, and I must find out what specifically is wrong with Hikaru. No, we know right away, that's not the mystery of at least the first act or arc of this narrative. We know exactly what's going on. So, Hikaru got hurt somehow up in the mountains last January, and now it's the following summer, it's July, and he seems to be just fine. Our protagonist and Hikaru are sitting outside an ice cream shop talking, and he just says, okay, you're not really Hikaru, are you? And this is like 5 minutes into the episode. So it turns out that Hikaru is dead. Kind of. Something has taken it over. It has taken Hikaru over. So, is Hikaru possessed by a ghost? Is this a pod person? Is it an alien? What is it? Well, there are a lot of hints going on. And again, to be clear, I'm not complaining about the way the narrative is being doled out in the first episode. I'm merely describing what's happening. So, I will be critical here in a minute, but there are hints throughout the episode that there's more going on. We seem to have Hikaru's... Whatever Hikaru's body is playing host to, it's not the only one. There's other things out there. Possessing, apparently, or inhabiting, we're not clear how it works yet, not just organic life forms, but inanimate objects, too. And there also appears to be some type of organization that's been around for at least a century or two that seems to be hunting these things down. Now, we don't know if this is an organization that is made up of humans or something else. We don't know yet. We also get a hint at the very end of the episode that someone is doing some maybe occult type stuff. So maybe whatever is possessing or inhabiting Hikaru's body is some demon or cosmic eldritch horror that was summoned via a ritual that went wrong or right. We don't know yet. Just the first episode. So there's a lot of weird looking pieces on this chessboard that we don't have the rules for yet. Now, are those interesting pieces intriguing enough to make me watch the second episode? Yeah, I'd say so. This is one of those shows that, as I said at the front, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet, because I don't have enough information to really form an opinion. How effective is the first episode at getting me to watch the second? Pretty effective. But for me, and this is a personal taste, completely subjective thing. For me, it's riding a line. It's leaning, for my tastes, a bit too heavily on mystery. It's approaching obtuse enough for me to not care. Right? Sometimes a mystery narrative can be so opaque, can hold its cards so close to its chest that you're not given anything to latch onto. The summer Hikaru died, for me, is approaching that boundary. Hasn't crossed it, but it's kind of button up against it. So for me personally, it was kind of close. A bit, if it was any more opaque, I would have probably gone, okay, I'm not interested. But there's enough of interest here for me to check out the second episode and see what's going on. I'm not even quite sure what the theme of the show is yet. It could be any number of things. What it looks like it might be is we have our main protagonist, who is a kind of an introverted, rather lonely guy. High school kids, because, anime. Kind of directionless, doesn't seem to know what he wants to do with his life, doesn't think that he's going to go anywhere or really have a future, so it's hard to get excited about, I should go to Tokyo and enter university. He's like, I'm I'm never going to amount to anything. I'm never going to have a girlfriend. That kind of a thing. But he has this friend Hikaru, who he cherishes enough that this seems to be his one tether to enjoying and appreciating life. He seems pretty unimpressed and unenthused about the small rural town he lives in. The way, particularly the shot selection, cinematography, if you will, of this show is presenting things as just boring and not exciting. There's nothing happening. I'm not interested. All I've got is Hikaru, and he's dead. Whatever that is, that's not Hikaru. It's something inhabiting his body. But Hikaru was very important to me, so I still don't, even though that's not him, I don't want him to go away. And this version of Hikaru is, although it's kind of weird because he's been around for like 6 months and he's like, oh my god, chicken! It's, it's like, have you not had chicken in the last 6 months, buddy? But maybe where we're going is he needs this alien horror inhabiting the corpse of his best friend to open his eyes to the beauty of life. Maybe we're going in that direction. Who knows? Very hard to tell with the first episode. Or maybe for all of you it was very easy and I'm just a dunderhead. So, one thing I don't care for is some of the art, just aesthetically. Hikaru, while he has, his eyes are weird. His irises are drawn with inward-facing hatch marks that circle the circumference of his iris, and his pupils are red. I'm like, oh, that's the tell that he's not quite human. No, because there's some flashbacks, and that's just how his eyes were. They just draw his eyes weird. Later in the show, you see an old lady who also has really weird eyes, so it might be one of those Chainsaw Man kind of things. I saw the first season of Chainsaw Man, which there's a show I love the premise of, and I like the idea of more than I actually liked the show. But there's a artistic flourish to the character design where some of them have sharp shark teeth. Why? I don't know. Is there a pattern to it? Does it indicate anything? Is it thematically relevant in some way? Is it a metaphor for something? Maybe it is. If it is, I have no idea what it's supposed to mean or what it's supposed to indicate. Or it could just be, I liked drawing these particular characters with shark teeth. It could be that. I have no idea. So this kind of gives me the same feeling. I don't know why his eyes are so damn weird. Because his eyes were damn weird before he died. Also, the summer Hikaru died, he died in the winter. He died in January. Maybe he dies again. Is that a big deal? No. While I'm not really bowled over aesthetically with the way the characters are presented and drawn, it's not off-putting. I just don't care for it. It's not blowing my skirt up. It's fine. But yeah, so off to an interesting start. I'll definitely give episode 2 a try. So, Jared, thanks again for the recommendation. You always come up with some, at the very least, very interesting things to check out, and I appreciate the recommendations. Thank you. So, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time when I watch the first episode of something else. Hey all! Starting at noon Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, November 1st, I'll be live streaming video games for 24 hours straight to raise money for Rady Children's Hospital as part of the Extra Life charity event.
Check the video description for a link to my event page where you can make a donation and see what I've got planned for this year's show. Hope to see you there.